So the project I'm working on right now is for the Philadelphia Winter Garden. It's a pop-up seasonal garden that it's on all raised beds at the Dilworth Park outside of City Hall. So it goes up in November, it comes down in April. This year she wanted to give me back the balls and strip them down to their cement state and then rebuild them up again. This time she wants me to actually paint wildflower gardens on them. This will be the base color for that. And so the process was, I have to put paint and stain remover for cement, and then I have to power wash it. Again, I learned this from like contractors. So the paint is acrylic, but it is mixed with a water-based sealant. So once you do the power washing down, it will look like this when you're ready for the next step. At this point, you can still see there is still a little bit of the stain on there, so I had to get a hand grinder and grind the rest of this down, at which point I have an air compressor and I air compress it all off, all of the dust. Dust and cement and dust and paint, as we all know, does not mix. So wash it down. When that's done, I took it back into my studio and I took Portland cement, which is basically the base of all cement. It doesn't have any aggregates, and an aggregate is sand or rocks or fiber. And it's just pure, and I have samples of all the different cements I use. You guys can like put gloves on and like feel the different textures, and then it will put things in perspective for you as to like what I use and how I use it and why I use it. So I put a very thin coat of Portland cement on here because this is still so kind of textury. I want it to be as smooth as I can possibly get it, and Portland cement will do that. So you can see it's still kind of like rough and not very pretty. So then I go to my sander and I sand it down so that it's just butter smooth. It's not a perfect round surface like you get with some spheres that are casted, and I don't like them to be perfect. I believe that there's a lot of beauty in the imperfection, and you don't need to be perfect to find beauty. So that's kind of my philosophy. And then I put the base coat on, and this is literally blue paint and water at this point. And it's very, very thin. And when I go back, I am going to begin to put another coat on, but the second coat is going to have some sealant in it with the paint, mixed with the paint. And then I will begin to build it up with a gradation. I will mark it with pencil and of where I want the flowers to go. Now, a rule is, with cement and concrete, is that you can only re-wet it once before you begin to, before the strength and integrity of it begins to degrade. But with Portland cement, there is no strength or integrity to it. It's literally cosmetic.